It's such a beautiful screenplay. It's a haunted house story, it's a romantic comedy. Love, death and sacrifice. Downton Abbey gets haunted.
I don't think you're that scary at all.
Oh. The Canterville Ghost is a lot of fun. It's one of Oscar Wilde's most loved short stories.
Welcome to Canterville Chase.
It's about an American family that buys a big old English mansion and finds it's haunted by a ghost who's been haunting the place successfully for around 300 years. Sir Simon de Canterville thinks, oh, I'll just scare these Americans out of here and I'll have the house back to myself. But they're American, they're from Boston, they're very modern, and they are not impressed by him.
Do you mind, sir?
I must ask you, what? No, this is my house!
And so when he fails to scare them, he sort of undergoes a crisis of identity.
You're losing your touch.
What? How dare you?
And it's only by teaming up with the daughter of the American family that he's able to resolve the curse that keeps him as a ghost.
I wish I could be free.
Maybe I could help.
We love the story, but we went through it and essentially did what any good adapter does, which is to just make it work for film, to give it a solid 3-act structure, and to understand the sort of twin genres of horror and romantic comedy and somehow try and bind those together. We had to rewrite the curse. In the story, Sir Simon murders his wife. We didn't want to stay with that because it didn't feel right for our hero, so we rewrote that part of the story so that her death was accidental.
And the guilt has lived with me some 300 years.
The look of Canterville is all down to Kim Burden, the director of the film. Kim was also the principal art director of it, and he's a brilliant artist. What drew me to his view of that world was that it looked different, it looked distinctive. And the job of any animated movie, if you're competing with Pixar and DreamWorks, is not to look like them. If you go that route, you will end up looking compromised. Far too many animated films look like each other. It's sort of, they play it safe for the market. Kim did the original paintings and drawings of all the characters and the world of Canterville, and then we adapted them a little just in modelling and making those characters and building them and rigging them. I have to say, I'm really happy with how they look. I've sort of fallen in love with all of them, and they don't look like every other animated character, and I think that's one of the film's strengths.
Right, onwards!
One of the great joys of working on an animated film is working with the cast. And the cast on Canterville was particularly brilliant. Playing Sir Simon de Canterville is Stephen Fry. He's such a passionate advocate for Oscar's literature and life. As the two young lovers, we have Emily Carey as Virginia Otis, and we have Freddie Highmore playing Henry, Duke of Cheshire. Imelda Staunton plays Mrs. Umney, the housekeeper. Mr. and Mrs. Otis are played by David Harewood and Mira Sayal. Brilliant. David bringing so much sort of strength and pomp, and Mira Sayal absolutely fragile and strong at the same time.
These straps, now.
Miranda Hart plays Algerine, a perfect voice for animation because it's distinctive, it cuts through.
This way!
Hugh Laurie playing these personifications of death in different guises, and when he was playing the Mephisto monster, and he was almost imitating it. He was getting low and then sort of rising up to the microphone and really giving his deep voice. You know, this was a film that took over 10 years to set up the finances for, and it was a screenplay that not only kept all the financiers and the actors invested and interested, but just kept the film aflame, kept it going. It's such a beautiful screenplay. I thought, I'm not going to let this go. We're going to get this made.